So previously on Beast Wars, one of the proto-humans had picked up the stone weapon that Dinobot had and used it to show a snake what has two thumbs and understands tool use. This guy. Today we catch up with him and the family as they voyage on what anthropologists referred to as the Great Schlep. Well, pretty soon one of them gets ambushed by a predator, and it turns out to be This is what would happen if evolution had cheat codes. As you can see, a stone tool is no match for a laser-firing, razor-clawed monster with a mouthful of sharp teeth, so he has to flee, leaving the children hiding nearby. They're found, but luckily the Maximals arrive in time to drop a rock on it, and Rhinox confirmed that Megatron has gone full Jurassic Park here. He went and cloned himself a raptor, and then he did one better by giving them cybernetics, because they need just that much more of an edge.
Everyone's always in favor of saving Hitler's brain, but when you put it in the body of a great white shark, ooh, suddenly you've gone too far.
Elsewhere, Black Arachnia is sneaking around with some cylinder, when first comes the kids, and then comes Cheetor, which is like having your day move from level 1 to level 1.5, and then back down again, because Optimus puts her in charge of bringing the kids back to their family. We'll call it Operation The Gods Must Be Crazy Too. Black Arachnia hates this, so Silverbolt volunteers to join her, but he got injured during that fight. Velociraptors are the natural enemies of flying dogs, after all. So Cheetor will go in his place, and Silverbolt's eyes may look gold, but I assure you they are most definitely green. Meanwhile, Rat Trap is taking the opportunity to badmouth Black Arachnia, that she can't be trusted.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that our little spider chum...
Really, Silverbolt, that thing hanging down just looks wrong. I'm not saying it looks like a dick, because it doesn't look like a dick at all. It looks like you're having trouble keeping a panel closed or something and need some duct tape. As for the kids...
Ready? Hang on!
You know, I imagine it's rather liberating deciding to make I'll Be a Cautionary Tale your lifestyle choice. Somehow he managed not to drop the small child off his back during that, while Black Arachnia is trying to track down any cloned cyborg monsters that might try to murder whatever Cheetor doesn't accidentally kill. Alas, the Murdersaurus still gets the drop on them and makes with the roaring and the lasers and the mayhem, to which there can only be one answer. That was not it. Black Arachnia, against her own instincts to not give a shit, rescues the kiddies herself and buys them time. But Cheetor's stellar landing knocked out his ability to fly, and their comms are being jammed, so this is going to be a problem. And yeah, Megatron decides to send in Waspinator, Tarantulas, and still more Cyberraptors to deal with them.
Cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war!
Man, y'all take this shit seriously.
Okay, let's go to something less Shakespearean sounding.
Besides, you're needed here.
If my lady is in danger, then my place is at her side.
I suppose if you want to be technical, it's more Arthurian than Shakespearean. Optimus finally gives in and agrees that Silverbolt can join him while he goes looking for Cheetor and Black Arachnia. Unfortunately, that was Megatron's plan, as he shows up with the rest of the Predacons while only Rhinox and Rat Trap are left to defend the place.
The base is undermanned and unprotected. Ours for the asking.
Oh, no, we ain't gonna ask, are we? How's about we just blast our way in there and slag everybody and take it?
How is it that you have two heads and yet between them have less than half a brain? Meanwhile, the rest of the assault is no slouch either. Tarantulas and Black Arachnia are a match for each other, and I'd put Cheetor's inexperience against Waspinator's bad luck as being even too. It's just that 2 child proto-humans are not going to be the equal to 3 Borg velociraptors. That's a little one-sided. Waspinator soon takes out Cheetor, but he doesn't even get a chance to gloat before Black Arachnia puts him down. But that still leaves her heavily outmatched. Luckily, The only thing left at this point is for that proto-human to hit Silverbolt with his club and say, "Go to horny jail, unga bunga." Things go from cringe to worse as Tarantula shoots Optimus in the butt with his new gun, and that just completely takes Optimus out of the fight. Just doesn't help at all for the rest of this match. It's like he has an Achilles heel, except it's located a bit farther north. And if you know the story of Achilles' heel, you probably wonder, how the hell could that situation possibly have happened, You imagine the mother dipping the baby in the river Styx by gripping him by the sphincter or something? Is she like jam one finger up there and grab the other, holding the kid like a bowling ball sort of thing to drop him in there? I don't know how that could work. But anyway, if that classical reference isn't good enough for you, I do have an alternate one if you want something a little more sophisticated. What would be the equivalent for Achilles' heel here? How about Buridan's ass? Anyway, Megatron attacks, having a 4-2 advantage here, although two of them are insane and one is a moron who, if he read "this side towards enemy" on a claymore mine, would then stand in front of it so the bad guys couldn't sneak up on him from behind. Well, even Megatron knows what Quick Strike's character is, that there's a time to think and there's a time to act, and as far as I'm concerned, it's always time to act. So he figures a way to make use of Quick Strike as an asset.
Because, Inferno, when expecting booby traps, always send a boob in first.
Failsafe. First send in the fail, they'll make it safe. At the opposite end of the bell curve from idiot who's been hurt has had it coming, Black Arachnia throws herself in front of the kids to take the hit for them like she was the Secret Service. And soon Dad arrives with his beaten stick to whack off one of the cyber raptors in a tender spot, electronically speaking, I mean. This inspires the other to do the same to take out the rest, who also knock out Tarantulas and Waspinator in their spasms of cybernetic flopping. And what's more, you'll never guess who joins the party at the Ark. Yes, it's none other than Depth Charge, who turns the tide of battle and drives the Predacons off. So, that's resolved. As for Cheetor, he tries making some headway with Black Arachnia after the fight, but she only has eyes for Silverbolt, who seems kind of insecure when you come down to it. At the end, Megatron gloats evilly. The end. Cutting Edge is a bit hard to describe in that it sort of feels uneven and sort of feels too busy. I don't actually dislike it or anything, but it's got some problems to it. For example, Depth Charge coming out of nowhere to save the day unprompted. Yeah, that's a bit absurd. It would have been much more understandable if he would have ambushed Rampage during the battle and caused confusion that turned the tide. But in the episode, he just shows up like he's a random encounter table result. The episode is not bad, it's just that I think it wants to do too much and consequently leaves so much of it shortchanged.